All right, so this video is to help you with reviewing for your final review for the semester 2 of Integrated Math 2. If you are watching this, then this is going to help you a lot. It's may or may not be your actual review packet, so please pay attention. Hopefully this will help. So I am going to do a couple problems, and if you have any questions, you can always come and see me on a meeting or talk to me. Please do. So we're going to do this one where C is between A and E. For each problem, we're going to draw a picture representing the 3 points and the information given, and then we're going to solve for the indicated length. So since this says C is between A and E, this is just telling me that it's going to be A, C, and some E on this line segment, okay? For both of them. Now, based off of this information, we're going to see that this says if AC is 24, so this is 24, and CE is 13, what is AE? Well, AE is the whole thing, so we're going to take 24 plus 13, and we're going to see that it is 37. Is that okay? For B, same thing, same diagram. CE is 7, and AE, so it's our large one, is 23. And we need to find what's AC. So this just says we take 23 minus 7, and we're going to get 16. Okay? So the rest of these are very similar to that, remembering everything about angle addition and segment addition. Okay? So the next one I'm going to do with you is number 6, okay, where we're doing angle addition, but now we're going with more of x's. So it says I need to find the measure of angle EDC if EDC is 12x minus 5, EDJ is negative 9 plus 4x, and JDC is 100. So what we need to see is EDC is the largest angle. So we know 12x minus 5 has to equal the two smaller angles, which we gave you at negative 9 plus 4x, added together have to be the same. Now we're just multi-step processing, getting what x equals. So I'm going to leave this side alone. Negative 9 plus 100, we're going to get 4x plus 91. Moving x's first, minus 4x minus 4x. We get 8x minus 5 equal to 91. We're going to add 5 to both sides where 8x is equal to 96. We then divide by 8. So x equals 12. Sweet, x is 12. I'm not done solving. It said find the measure of EDC. But this just says plug in 12 for x. So we take 12 times 12, which is 144, and we subtract 5. So we get that EDC is 139 degrees. Okay? Remembering all that loveliness. Addition of angles. Make sure you plug in x's if it tells you to. Okay? Just doing one of everything for you. So take heed. Our next one I'm going to do with you is number 9 and number 10, just as a quick review. Remembering our transversals, corresponding vertical, what they mean, what they equal. So number 9 says I have measure 1 and measure 2 equaling 2 things, and I need to find what x equals. So I go over to this picture. I see measurement 1 is over here, but measurement 2 is over here. So let's see how we could get there. We can see 1 and 4 are vertical, so those equal each other. And we can see 4 and 2 are corresponding, so those equal each other. So 1 and 2 equal each other. So we set 3x minus 17 equal to x plus 1, and we're going to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract x. We're going to get 2x minus 17 equals 1, add 17 to both sides, and we're going to divide by 2 to get x equals 9. So x equals 9. On 10, however, we're now looking at angle 3 and 4. So going over here, we said corresponding is equal, vertical is equal, but they are neither. So what that means is they have to add up and equal to 180. So that means we have 20K plus 11 plus 8K plus 1 has to equal 180 degrees. So we combine our like terms to get 28K plus 12 equals 180. We subtract 12, we get 28K equal to 168. Yep. We divide by 28, we're going to get x equals 6. Okay. Just remembering transversals and what those all mean. Vertical, they're the same. Corresponding, they're the same. If they are neither of those, you add them to equal 180. Okay? Going right along, you're doing great. So a lot of these are just definitions, so make sure you remember how to do those. On 15, remembering our proofs. So we are given that 3 parentheses 5x plus 1 in parentheses equals 13x plus 5, and we need to prove x equals 1. So remember, when you're doing proofs, your first statement is always what's been given to you. So you say 5x plus 1 equals 13x plus 5. Your reasoning, always, number 1, given. So since this is algebraic, my first step is I'm going to distribute, so 3 times 5, so 15x plus 3 equals 13x plus 5. And since I distributed, I put my reasoning. Okay. My next step is I'd like to move my x's to one side, so this is positive, so I'm going to subtract 13x. 15 minus 13 is, not 12, it is 2x plus 3 equal to 5. I've said what I did, so I need to state I subtracted. My next step is I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to move the 3 over, so I'm subtracting, so 2x equals 2. Once again, I am subtracting. And my last step is I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And so I said what I did, so I am dividing. Did I prove that x equals 1? I did. I am done. Okay, so remember in our algebraic proofs, you have to do the one above. That's why I did the one that you didn't give me the numbers for. You're welcome. So remembering our next proofs here with transversals, if you can do one with me, you can do the other by yourself. I promise, you'll be great. All right? So on this one, we are given that line L and line N, it's supposed to be an N, are parallel, and we need to prove that angle 2 equals angle 8. So we need to make our lovely graph for our proof, so our statements and our reasons. Number 1 is always what's been given to us, so line L is parallel to line M because it was given. 2, well, this helps us say that these are parallel so I can work with certain theorems. I'm always, when I'm doing this, going to start with the first number. So I'm going to start with angle 2. And I know it needs to be congruent to something. So I'm going to look at angle 2, and I need to decide vertical angle or corresponding, because we said those were the same. I'm going to do vertical. So I'm going to say that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4 because of the vertical angle theorem. Now that I've gotten from angle 2 to angle 4, my next number I should put down is the 4, because that's where we ended. So I'm looking at angle 4. How can I get to angle 8? I can say they're congruent because they are corresponding. And we have one more thing just to prove it. So now, since 4 and 4 are across from each other, that means 2 and 8 also must be congruent to each other. The reason being, always, the transitive property. You can do number 16, you can do number 17. All right? So the next one we are looking at is remembering how can I determine side lengths of a triangle. So if I have triangle 4, 5, and 6, can it be a triangle? So what you have to remember is you have to take 4 plus 5, so that equals 9. It's greater than 6, so that works because that's the third. So it's 1, 2, and 3. I'm now going to take 5 plus 6, which equals 11. That's 1, 2. Is it greater than 4? It is. Then we do it again with 4 and 6, which equals 10. Is it greater than 5? It is. So since all of them are greater than their corresponding added two together, it's a triangle. Woo! Okay, that means you can do number 19. On 20 through 22, those are classification of triangles. Beforehand, there were definitions. Those should help you out. So just as a quick reminder, what do the angles in a triangle add up to be? 180. Please remember, it's 180 degrees. So this plus this plus this equals 180. That is 23, 24, and 25 for you. The exterior angle theorem says the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 has to equal the outside measure. That was terrible. Okay, so I'm giving you that. And then I'm going to do number 26 with you. So please remember how to do this. Okay? So it says the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 has to equal the outside measure. Cool? So what we do is we take 64 plus 27, we're going to get 91 is equal to 97 plus x. Get x by itself by subtracting 97. So x equals negative 6. Yeah, done. There's 26 for you. Okay. Our next one we're looking at, I went right by it, is I'm helping you prove number 30. 29 has also approved, but I give you the statements, you just have to give me the reasons. So we're going to do 30 together. So 30, once again, we need to make our little chart that says statements and reasons. Our first statement is always what's been given to us. Make sure you write everything down. So angle ADB and angle CDB are right angles. And it also states that angle A is congruent to angle C. And that's all because it was given to us. I haven't even looked at anything else. I just wrote down my givens. So it says this angle and this angle are congruent. These two angles are congruent. Is there anything else that may or may not be congruent? Well, we need to see that they share BD. So what that says for number 2 is BD has to be congruent to BD. Since they're the same, that property of reflexive comes into play. They are reflexive. Well, I have 3 things on my triangle, which should help you remember the theorems. Side, 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 angle, angle, side, angle, and the hypotenuse leg. Just gave you the 5. The answers are back there. So, based off of those 5 theorems, what information do I have? Well, I have an angle, and a side. So, I have enough information to say that these 2 triangles are congruent to each other because of the angle, side theorem. Okay, so we just did 30 together. Just remembering all this loveliness. This is the last assignment you have to do for me, and then you're done. So remember, solving each proportion. I'm not doing 32. I want you to do 32 by yourself. But as a quick reminder, you are cross multiplying for proportions. So saying 6 times x equals 9 times 10. 6x has to equal 90. Divide by 6, x equals 90 over 6, which is congruent, or equal to 15. Do the same thing, but remember, distribute the 8 to the x and the -2. Help you set that one up. Okay. So determine if polygons are similar. So we're going to do 33 together. You have to do 34. So you take the smallest number over here, so that's 10, and the smallest number over here, so that's 15. So 10 over 15. I want to simplify it. Well, 10 and 15 both have a 5. So I'm going to divide by 5 and see that it is 2/3. Okay, cool. I now take the next biggest number, 14, and the next biggest number, 21. Can I simplify it? Well, they both have a 7. So I'm going to take a 7 out of both, and I'm going to get 2/3. Do I have any other numbers that didn't touch? No. Are these the same? Yes. So they are similar. Do the same thing over there. Small to small, large to large. Determine if they are similar or not. Okay? Getting there. We're getting there. So again, similar triangles. You should know what those are. If you need any review, go back to the lessons I have done. Remembering SOHCAHTOA, that's on you. You can go back to lessons, but I will do number 34 with you. So remembering to find BC, I need to look for this lovely x. I've been given 30 degrees and 6 centimeters. So since this is the angle I look at, x in relation to it is an opposite. And because it's across from the 90, this is my hypotenuse. So I have O and H. So remembering so. So that means I'm going to be using sine of my degree 30 equal to opposite x over my hypotenuse 6. I'm going to multiply by 6, so x equals 6 sine of 30. Plug it into your calculator and you're going to get x equals 3. So x equals 3. I did 34 for you. This one says find AC. I'm not going to do it for you, but you are looking for this x, okay? The other two are inverses, so make sure you remember how to do those. That was the last lesson of the unit. So these two are inverses. You'll be fine. And the last two here are word problems. I'm going to do 38 with you. You're welcome. Okay, so what we're seeing here on 38 is from the top of a fire tower, a forest ranger sees his partner on the ground at an angle of depression of 40 degrees. So we have a really tall fire tower. And you can see this dude over here. We're creating our triangle. But we have an angle of depression, which means from my horizontal to the line sight was 40 degrees. The tower is 40 feet high. We want to know how far the partner is from the base of the triangle. Well, we need to remember, angle of depression is the same thing as angle of elevation. So this helps us set up our triangle. So we have an angle and two side lengths. What are the side lengths to each other? So we're going to look at 45 to 40. It is opposite of each other, and x is touching it, so it's adjacent. So we have OA, which means our TOA is being involved. So that means we're going to say tangent of our 40 degrees equals opposite of 45 over our unknown adjacent, x. We cross multiply to see x is tangent of 40 equal to 45. Divide by tangent of 40, so x equals 45 divided by tangent of 40. You're going to plug that into your lovely handy dandy calculator, and you're going to see it is 53.63 feet. Okay. All right. So that's the last problem I'm going to do. I will help you by setting up 39. And again, it's only if you've watched the videos will you be able to do a couple of these problems. So please, watch videos. I'm gonna set it up for you. So we have a nursery plant, it planted a tree. They're attaching a guy wire to help support the tree. So the guy wire itself is 8 feet to a stake in the ground. And from the stake in the ground to the angle of elevation, so right here, it is 42 degrees. Find the nearest tenth of the foot, the distance between the stake and the tree. So can you tell me that? Okay. I have set it up for you. You solve it. This is the end of Integrated Math 2, Semester 2, full year. You've got this. Please let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. You'll be awesome.